Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the Earthly Mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray that the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, this weekend, be on the lookout. I already have about 4 or 5 videos all set up and ready to go. Also, be on the lookout on Patreon, because I'm going to be putting out some more of these pages and more of this information from some other books. I actually found that one I was telling you guys I was looking for. I found it and took some pictures. Now I'm going to be putting out quite a few of the pictures and information in just one larger video. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow morning. So be on the lookout for that one on Patreon as well. And tonight we're going to be getting into ley lines. And maybe this is the way that the Most High is planning on restoring our people and giving us the power that we had before. I looked up a little bit of information on ley lines a little while ago, then got kind of pulled in some different directions. Then the Most High put this information together this evening. And we're going to be talking about that because the ley lines, a lot of people want to act like it's New Age, the Gentiles, always trying to explain away things. I said, but these ley lines are definitely attributed to the people who were here before the Indo-Europeans, and that would be us. And it would make sense that, you're going to hear some stuff and see something about Enoch talking about these ley lines and what they are and how they're set up. He would have been the one that would have been downloaded this information and giving it down to his posterity, realizing that there's all this power that is here on this planet, and the other nations know as well. And you're going to see by their actions and what they did after they took us down, that they are well aware of these ley lines and lines of power. So let's get into this. A little bit of information here, about ley lines, okay? And of course, it's an alien hunting, UFO, okay, that's different things. But of course, we're going to read here. What is a ley line? A ley line is an unseen conduit, if you will, of spiritual energy that runs through the earth. There are many of these lines across the globe, and they tend to intersect in a grid-like pattern. Points where these lines intersect are thought to be vortexes of psychic or spiritual energy by New Agers. And of course, they always try to throw that little monkey wrench in there and have these other people trying to explain things that they know nothing of. Because it said devotees of the ley line theory claim that ancient peoples, whether unconsciously or intuitively, built their monuments along these conduits. You see, it's like, they're pretty much just acting like the people that were already here. Either they did it on accident. Maybe they just did it on accident. I mean, are you guys serious? The Most High downloaded this information to his people. That's how they know that. You don't just get on this accidentally. But that's how they believe. They believe that everything's by accident. That there's no divine creator that actually put all this stuff together. Okay? So again, said devotees of the ley line theory claim that ancient peoples, whether unconsciously or intuitively, built their monuments along these conduits. The pyramids of both Egypt and Mexico are said to be atop ley lines, as is Stonehenge and the lines of Nazca. Even our modern interstates and roadways are claimed to follow ley lines in a few cases. Plus, interestingly enough, crop circles seem to form along ley lines, especially in Britain. So like I said, you start connecting our lands with these different areas and how the ley lines actually go into our lands, even up in Britain and in Ireland as well. And there's a reason why they're trying to keep us from knowing about these ley lines, as well as the connections to the ancient peoples and their ancient structures. When we start talking about ancient structures, ancient people, we know they're talking about us. And then, of course, the people here, the Gentiles here want to try to diminish everything, just like they try to diminish all of these structures that we put up. Oh, no, we don't know who built those, or they just cover them up with dirt because they don't want to have to try to explain how, they were so sophisticated before they got here. The people that were here before them were so much more sophisticated. And now learning about ley lines, you start to see that they're even tapping into the energy, the spiritual aspects of this planet as well. Ley line map of England and Wales and sacred sites. Check that out. And as you start to do more research, you're going to find even more. So you got all these different areas right here, all on ley lines. But I guess they did all that on accident. They didn't know what they were doing. See, and that's what they always say, right? Savages, barbarians didn't know what they were doing. But now the more you start to look at things, the more you start to realize that they had their stuff in order. When they were following the Most High, he was downloading this information for them to be able to take, advantage of the energy of the earth. He said, of course, and then that's them for you. Oh, they might have done it on accident. Might have been, they might have figured this out on accident. You got ley lines that are connecting all over the world. If this one is true, and hey, I'm not sure. I said, but I'm just kind of showing you guys a couple of the pictures and how they meet up. But they built a lot of their structures off of these ley lines. I'm gonna show you guys this quick video, okay? Talking about energy fields. And this one just happened to pop up over there, I think in Britain or Ireland. I'm not sure exactly which one he's at. But we're gonna watch this quick video real quick.
Ron Dudley Smith is the warden of the Roll-Right Trust. By day, he's a plumber. But in his spare time, he's something far more mystical.
Hello, Ron.
Hiya.
You must be Ron the Dowser, I can tell.
Certainly am. Pleased to meet you.
Ron thinks he knows why the stones were built here. Natural energy lines.
Running around the globe, everywhere, are energies that pulsate through the earth. This particular place is we call it a power spot, where energies seem to accumulate, come into like a hub, and then flow off into other places.
So is this what they call ley lines? Is that the same
ley
thing?
lines and ley energy all come into it. We've got an energy line running through here that starts in the Isle of Wight, goes through Chichester Cathedral, goes through the Effingham White Horse, comes through here.
I like to think I'm open-minded, but an ancient energy superhighway feels a bit of a stretch.
So you're standing here, I know you're concentrating and talking to me, but are you feeling the energy?
Not at the moment, because it's so bloody cold. Around these stands here is a band of energy. Would you like to try and find this?
Yes, but I doubt I'm going to be as good as you are.
Well, I don't suppose you will be, because I've been doing this for donkey's years.
All right.
So take two of those rods.
Yes, okay.
With these two metal rods, using the medieval technique of dowsing, Ron tells me I should be able to detect the spiritual powers running around the stones.
I'm throwing you in at the deep end here. You've never done this before, so just walk forward, tune into this energy that's coming from the stones, and ask your rods. And there we go. Now, are you doing that, or has that done it by itself?
It's done it by itself.
There we are. Now that that's done, now just walk out slowly now, just to show that something is happening through your rods or through you. This is happening through you.
This is extraordinary. I've discovered a new power that I didn't know I had. Is it a power or is it a sensitivity?
As far as I'm concerned, 80% of population can do this if they're interested.
Oh, and there's me thinking I'm special.
Now walk back out and watch them open up. As soon as you... So, the energy is there.
Yes.
There it is there.
Yeah. I was a Presbyterian. I think this could be the work of the devil. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what lots of people believe.
Yeah. So which way is the energy flowing today? It's so spooky. I don't know what to make of this.
Ron believes ancient Britons placed the stones here so they could tap it.
Ancient Britons. Now remember, the ancient Britons, we know exactly who those are. Not the Indo-Europeans. It's the people who have been here thousands and thousands of years.
Into this invisible energy source, presumably making them feel more, well, energetic.
Gosh, what am I in touch with now?
Nothing. You're in touch with nature. This is natural. It happens all the time. But this...
It's not natural to stand in the freezing cold with rods like this.
Lots of people who come here who don't understand the energies and they are sensitive come into the center of this. They're overcome with emotion because of the energies they're picking up.
Yeah.
And you just have to gently take them out.
Right.
Give them a loving hug, even if it's a mental one.
Yeah.
And just calm them down and say, now let's just go in and let's just concentrate on one item within the circle, not what's going on in here.
Yes. I think I could do with a loving hug now, but just to warm me up. But
well, maybe later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Winter's almost here.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and continue. I'm going to make sure that it's still recording here. That it didn't stop. Yeah, looks like it's good. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and get into Atlantean traditions in ancient Britain. Okay. So I've already introduced this book. Definitely go. I was actually looking for some information that Big Levi was asking me about a certain kind of a rock. And I came across some other information I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys right now. But before I do that one more time, let me just check to make sure that it is recording. I don't want to have any issues with it not recording. Okay. Okay, here we go. Talking about ley lines here some more, okay? I'll read some of it, but a lot of it you guys can read on your own. Just pause it and check it out. But just check out how they put these churches on certain areas and certain, ley lines. Staining Church. Staining Church was founded, okay, in the 8th century AD by Saint Cuthman, a mystic who traveled across country searching for divine inspiration. He founded at the site of this church, whose original structure he was said to have built it himself. An important ley traverses this building, having its initial point, okay, at Sisbury Ring, running northeast across Sussex and Kent. It passes over the famous Mark Beach Hill in Kent, which noted researcher Tony Wedd has proved to have important UFO connotations. Many aerial objects are sighted over Mark's Beach. Okay, those can also be chariots, but okay. At the bottom here, Horsham Church. The Church of St. Mary has tombs dating to the 14th century and traces of much earlier building. The famous stone-flagged, tree-lined causeway that leads up to its door is a well-preserved fragment of a ley alignment, still used as a processional path. This ley starts at the prehistoric camp of Sisbury Ring on the South Downs. So again, they're going prehistoric again. So prehistoric means the original people that were there. Okay, Sisbury Ring on the South Downs, traveling northeast through Horsham, on the Headley and Surrey, and crossing Caesar's Camp, a ruined earthwork on Wimbledon Common. So again, we're talking about churches that they built later on these ley lines. They didn't just put these churches in just random areas. They put them where we had prehistoric buildings, and they wanted to tap into that power. Okay. This is the next page here. Let's see. Alchemical harmony that lay at the roots of all Atlantean knowledge, and it cannot be overemphasized. So making a connection here with Atlantis, okay? There is a great deal of fresh research being undertaken into the ley system, and through it, the wide-ranging implications of prehistoric technological skill. So again, anytime you hear prehistoric, you know who they're talking about. Now they're talking about the technological skill. That would be our people. And we already know where that came from. The Most High downloading that to our people. Using the basic theories of Alfred Watkins, the lays are being charted and re-examined with a view towards establishing a definite understanding of the strange power that runs through them. Paul Screeton, editor of the magazine The Lay Hunter, has long studied this subject and has come to the following conclusions about lays in general. It is a fact that prehistoric sites and pre-Reformation churches have been sited on straight lines. So again, we got prehistoric sites and pre-Reformation. So pre-Renaissance, pre-Esau, pre-Gentile. So these places are sited on straight lines. And this has been shown to be beyond statistical probability. The groundwork for this subject was laid by Alfred Watkins, who experienced a vision on the Bredadine Hills in the 1920s, when he saw ancient features of the landscape laid out in straight lines, where prehistoric barrows, standing stones, circles, crosses, moats, alignments can be plotted on any map. A lay generally being considered as any line, okay, with 5 such points on a dead straight line. Watkins believed these marked ancient trackways, okay? Okay, trackways. But because many go over precipices or through bogs, it is obvious not all were tracks. It is now thought that basically lays denote the transmission of electromagnetic currents from within the earth. Such currents being influenced by heavenly bodies, okay, lays also have connections with geological faults, underground springs, astronomy, astrology, and geometry. Stone circles from which they often radiate are often computers for predicting eclipses. And the radiating lays will go to crosses, okay, and tumuli, which are often arranged in patterns of heavenly bodies. This also suggests that primitive man had a remarkable geometrical technology, unless he had outside help. It's always got to be aliens or somebody else. Yeah, we had help from the outside. We had help from the Most High. It says this technology and outside help can be seen and understood, both in the physical remnants dotted about the countryside and in the folk tales and legends that still adhere to them. Now remember, like they always do, they always put them in, say it's a folk tale, okay, or a legend when they can't explain it, when it's something that they can't explain. Okay? Although surrounded by auras of magic and mystery, the precisely arranged stones and mounds made up a truly scientific system of natural power. Again, arranged stones and mounds make up a truly scientific system of natural power that could have been originally laid down by the formidable Atlanteans. This may have been accomplished by working in close cooperation with the advanced extraterrestrial race remembered now as the gods. Okay, so trying to shove in UFOs and aliens like normal. The flying dragons or chariots of the gods, known today as UFOs or flying saucers, surface in every mythology and appear to have a definite connection with the lays. For today, they are often sighted hovering over ley points. So as you can see, you're starting to see all these connections of ley lines, flying saucers, supposedly dragons, all this. So they say is mythical. Here we go right here. I'm going to read what it says here at the bottom. These drawings are of standing stones, and they are all situated in Cornwall. Although they have been Christianized, the continuity with a prehistoric religion is maintained by the very method of adaptation. Carved upon them are the signs of the new faith, written in both Ogham and Latin. So again, they just try to take over these stones and these buildings and on these certain areas and then Christianize them. Try to make it seem like it's always been theirs. And we know different. This is why it's been so important to hide. I guess there's all these different structures in Ireland and England that they don't want us to actually, make the connection with. So hence, make sure you hide at Acts 29. Make sure you don't hide the promised lands. Make sure you point them to just one little itty bitty little area in the so-called Middle East. Don't let them figure out about these ley lines that go worldwide that are a source of their power. See how the Most High is working and the world is working. The world is opening up everything to give us our knowledge and understanding and connect us back with our power. Let's continue. This is page 25. Now, like I said, I'm not going to read all of this. I said, but you guys can definitely check it out right here. Let's first take a look down here at where it says that the Druids, okay? It says that the Druids who came long after were capable of acts that today would be classed miraculous or impossible. It is an established historical fact. It would be rash to say that those who came before the Druids were not capable of even greater feats. Hill figures were cut on hillsides that can only be seen from the air or from miles away. Zodiacs 10 miles across were formed. Leys along which dragons flew. Aerial lights were seen, and now unidentified flying objects are sighted, were laid out with amazing accuracy. So it's just showing you this stuff that you're seeing. It is not, an accident. It is not perchance, by chance, that these things have been set up this way. Look at the bottom underneath there. Religious centers were an obvious choice for sitting upon lines of energy, especially at intersections where the flow crosses. To find these points, a system of sitting from other points and a form of divination similar to Dowsing was used. Just like I think we just watched right now what the guy was using with the rods. It is claimed that lines of energy can still be doused, and some people have felt certain vibrations by standing at an intersection. This is possibly an explanation of why modern churches, sited haphazardly without even the correct solar alignments, have no atmosphere. I'm going to have to hit you guys up with some more of this information on the next few pages. But we'll go ahead and go on up a little bit more. Let's check out the top part here. We're going to go all the way to the top. The alignments and paths of the leys were all divined by acts of natural magic, performed by highly trained and skillful men who preserve the ability to chart this power network as a direct inheritance from the earlier Atlantean masters. Now he can say that, but we know that ultimately the Most High is the one that gives this knowledge and understanding to be able to chart this power network. Okay, these acts of natural magic came eventually to be known as Geomancy, a form of divination derived from the powers and patterns contained in and around natural objects. The term geomancy is more generally applied to the process of divination through organic oracles. Nevertheless, it is now becoming widely used as a one-word encapsulation for the mystical schematic interpretation of landscape engineering, pioneered by Alfred Watkins and John Mitchell. As geomancy plays a major part in the discernment of laying out of lays. It will be mentioned with increasing importance throughout the rest of this book. Its significance in shaping the basic English landscape cannot be overstressed, and many of the huge stones, hills, earthworks, and other topographical features that have hitherto been thought natural will soon have to be re-examined. In the future, they will be recognized as having been constructed or shaped by the past magicians. Using the trained eye of the practiced geomancer, a succinct summation of geomancy has recently appeared in the pages of Cambridge Voice, a periodical journal published in Cambridge by a group of liberated individuals who have been delving into various aspects of our spiritual and physical environment. And this is part where it reads right there. This is the top part of the where it says geomancy. I'll go right here. Is an ancient art of divining centers of energy on the Earth's surface and the alignments linking them together. Geomancy was employed in ancient times to discover the correct sightings for places of worship and their geometrical relationships with roads, wells, burial places, high points, beacons, and astronomical observations. That's all our people right there. Those are all the things our people have been doing before the Indo-Europeans showed up. That's why they were in such a hurry to try to make it seem as if we had nothing and we knew nothing. Then they could take credit for where they put the churches, the buildings they make, finding these wells, finding this information. I said astronomical events. They want to take credit for absolutely everything. But these things were already set in place before they got here. Absolutely amazing. It says today we can deduce from observation of the alignments of churches, wells, tumuli, and crossroads that a very advanced form of surveying was carried out in the distant past. That most churches of medieval date are found upon sites of much vaster antiquity. Check that one out one more time. That most churches of medieval date are founded upon sites of much vaster antiquity. Can be seen from the early Christian practices of building a church. Wherever a heathen or pagan stone circle, temple, or menhir stood, thus the alignments planned by the dodmen or sitters have been preserved in the Christian church. So these Christian churches are built all on our special places. So you guys have been used to actually preserve, the Most High surveyors. You've been used to, keep those places, you've been, so we can find them again here at the end. You've been used as a mark, in order for us at the end to be awakened and then the Most High put this information back together for us. I'll read that one more time. That most churches of medieval date are founded upon sites of much vaster antiquity, can be seen from the early Christian practice of building a church wherever a heathen or pagan stone circle, temple, or menhir stood. Thus, the alignments planned by dodmen or sitters have been preserved in the Christian church. And that's not just in certain areas, it's worldwide. These lines go worldwide. So now I'm showing you how we were worldwide. We were all over the place, setting up everything. The Most High had everything surveyed already and set up already for us. And all you did was come and take over our areas and build your churches. And we're going to go into that in a little bit also. Alignments or lays crisscross the country in profusion. some running for 1 or 2 miles, others for hundreds. So-called Roman roads have been shown to be of pre-Roman origin. Yes, the Most High is beautiful, is he not? So these roads that these people have set up, they've been set up by something that was before, on something that was before them. They haven't built anything. Now we realize the way they set up their cities is set up off of our ley lines, their churches, their roads, their ways, of transportation. Everything you have has been set up based off of what we did before. Absolutely mind-blowing. Read that again. So-called Roman roads have been shown to be of pre-Roman origin and follow the lays, changing direction where 2 lays cross. A similar phenomenon is seen on the Devil's Dyke Cams and Ophus Dyke, which makes 2 right-angle turns at lay points. The fact that such alignments were cited in antiquity, possibly at a similar period to that of Stonehenge, a complex astronomical computer, shows that ancient technology was not as primitive as is commonly imagined. Bingo. We weren't as dumb as you've been making us out to be. We weren't as simple as you guys have been trying to make us out to be. We were much more complex than what you have been trying to make us out to be. We were not the savages or the barbarians that you made us out to be. And now it's either going to be you're going to accept the truth or continue with the lie and then deal with the consequences. So this is absolutely mind-blowing information that cannot be debunked because the Most High is exposing them. He's exposing that they can do nothing but just copy what the Most High has already set up. And it's in their earthworks. It's in their churches. It's in their cities that they've done nothing but copy the Most High's plan, the Most High's ley lines. They make it seem as if there was nothing here and they built everything when all they did was just copy what the Most High had already given us. We're going to get into this one right here also. This is called the Book of Knowledge, the Keys of Enoch. See, you got to go here a little, there a little. It was not just talking about the Bible. It was talking about all this information. It's all connecting now. Now you start to see all these. I wasn't aware of a lot of these structures that were built in England and Ireland. I never really studied a whole lot about that. But now as I keep reading these books, they're starting to show how all these things, are all these structures are all interconnected with these ley lines, lines of power. And if you're stuck just reading the Bible, you would never, ever, the Bible's not talking about what's going on in England and Ireland. It's not talking about ley lines. It's not talking about power, in these lines. That's why you have to expand your research, expand your knowledge, and be led by the Holy Spirit that has been sent by the Most High. So now you realize how there's all these huge, structures, pyramids, temples that are all set up on these ley lines. And we know that's not we know that that's not, just by chance. And now we know, like I said, the Most High is exposing them. The return of the dove. Okay, there's actually some more information we're going to be getting in here, but talk about activating, certain areas, energies in certain areas. Starting to make those connections that the Most High has energies all over the world. And that's how, the Most High and the Holy Spirit, we're all connected. We're connected with the spirit. We're connected with the earth. We're connected with the animals. We're connected with the rocks. It's all a huge connection that the Most High is now bringing us back to, and He's going to be raising up our consciousness. Talking about grids here. Let me go right here and get the book out. There's so much information. Like I said, some of it is it's just really difficult to understand. But you know what? The right people here, the right people in this community, they're going to get this understanding, and they're going to put some more information for us to learn. Okay, they're going to put it in the comments. You're going to start to search, and you start to make these connections as well. Trying to see which one. Okay. Let's take a look first at 22. Actually, jump up to 19. Top left says, when these three forces, I want to read before that. Let me see. I'm going to read 18. Okay, so you can just listen for right now. Thus, because on another page. Thus, when the key speaks of the three stars, they are representing the magnetic star grids for the geophysical, the mental and the spiritual forces encircling the planet are used by the orders of light. Okay, and a similarity to implant knowledge to the world intelligence. When these three forces are unified into one configuration of consciousness, man will participate in the tripartite unity of a physical, mental, and spiritual confirmation grid, without the distinct interplay of events on all three levels. There cannot be any quantized achievement. For this reason, Moses, Jesus, Elijah had to come down from the higher heavens into the physical plane to accomplish that which could not be simply accomplished through the etheric planes. Okay, skip down to 22. With this communication, the PSI grids of mental communication throughout the planet can be altered, and new resonance patterns can be created to replace levels of negation. These grids are also incarnation grids, which are part of a lattice network of spiritual embodiment throughout our local universe. Okay? Now, 24 says, Enoch explained to me that there are the places where the higher incarnations take place. These areas are controlled by the magnetism of the spheres, which places a final magnetic blueprint on biogravation, life structures. In other words, these structures are biological energy packets seated along the magnetic arcs of intersection of a given planet. Okay, so you got all this information. You got to kind of start to tie it together. But we understand now that it's coordinating with the ley lines and the power all over the earth. Let's go to 25. These grids, allow for greater degrees of creative genius to be incarnated. A careful study of certain magnetic grid alignments in the Near East will reveal the footprints of prophetic work manifested between Egypt, Israel, and Assyria. And like I said, we'll see what they're really talking about. Is that over here in the Americas? They're all still these books are still gonna throw some information in there to kind of, throw you off a little bit. But that's why we need the Holy Spirit. That's why we need guidance, because we can't do all this on our own, and we can't trust everything that we read. This book, I said, it's very confusing to me. It's a lot of information. I'm sure someone will grab some information off of this and be able to explain it more to the rest of us. But like I said, this is not my expertise here. But the Most High led me to share this. If it's not for me, it's going to be for someone else to get this information and be able to bring the understanding to us. Take a look at 26. Enoch explained that Israel and Tibet are equivalent to the brain centers in the left and right hemispheres, okay, of the planetary mind. They are the places which have had the highest prophetic incarnations during this present cycle, which is why these two incarnation points have been under continual persecution by the forces of darkness on the higher planes. And like I said, I'm not sure exactly which Israel. I'm sure we're talking about the real Israel and Tibet. I mean, we'll have to see. But it would make sense that there would be a lot more people trying demons, people trying to attack these areas. Skip down to 27. Yet these energy centers have remained sensitized to the patterns of direct intervention controlled by the order of Melchizedek. Even though the forces of darkness have sought to destroy the scriptures of light and to control the incarnations of the lords of light so that they can gain control of the high and low places of the energy harmonics of the earth. So you can start to see why they're trying to control everything, because they're trying to control, these ley lines, these power centers. Okay. Nevertheless, these grids, I'm on 28, are connected with the veils of light that are placed between the worlds. Therefore, they can only be moved aside by the watchers who reign with Michael and who give the name and seal that will open the grids to the presence of the Most High, the Father, and the Ancient of Days. Okay? So that's why you got these places right here. I'm going to read what it says here. It says, an ancient city of light. Okay? Asia used by the Brotherhood of Light. So you got these places, I'm sure they're built on ley lines all over the world. And we were all over the world, so I'm sure we were over in Asia building these as well. So they did call us, what, Afro-Asiatics? So that would make some more sense as well. Now you understand this is Cholula. This is the biggest pyramid in the world. When the Spanish got here, what did they do here in the city? I think they said there was like 360 pyramids, and they built 360 churches on top of them. Now you know why. Because I'm sure our people were building these pyramids on the ley lines for the energies. So then these people came with their churches and did exactly the same thing. They just either covered up our pyramids or destroyed them. But in this case, they just built on top of the pyramid. I did a video on this a while back. Right there, the pyramid right there on Cholula. And they went ahead and just built a pyramid on top of it. A church on top of it. So I'm sure if you go around and you start to look at a lot of these churches and where they're placed, you'll realize that they are on ley lines and they are sucking the energy of our mother, sucking the energy of the planet. They didn't know this stuff on their own. Our people had already set this up through the power of the Most High. So this is a prime example. I figured out, I made a video about them building a church, but now we're connecting it with the ley lines. I so would love to go and see this pyramid. So the key to getting, our power is getting this knowledge and understanding and being ready and praying for the Most High to give us the power to, go back to these places and to get our power back, get our energies back. Most High had already set up. It makes sense. He wouldn't just set us down here and just, hey guys, go at it, do whatever you guys want with the planet. No, he would have specific instructions for us to follow in order for us to be connected with the Most High, connected to the Holy Spirit, connected to the earth. This is just absolutely beautiful. And like I said, we're barely scratching the surface. Knowing that, these places were set up on these ley lines, other places like Stonehenge set up on ley lines, pyramids all over the world set up on ley lines. These people have been lying to us about absolutely everything. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.